Hi, I'm Sharon Hughes. I'm at 3D Fitness here in Houston, Texas, and this is The Imperfect Yogi. So, what is the imperfect yogi? Really, all of us who do yoga. But I kind of came up with this idea after thinking about a particular situation that I experienced as a fairly new teacher. I took over class for a very popular, very dynamic teacher, and my softer, subtler style of yoga didn't go over very well, so a lot of those people left. But some of them stayed and grew to respect me and what I was teaching. But often they would come up to me and they kind of go, Joe says, as in, Joe says your thigh should be parallel to the floor. So if you're doing a warrior, Joe says your thigh should be parallel to the floor, right? And I would say, eventually, right? Why? Because for some of us, when I can get my thigh parallel to the floor, but what happened to my back leg? What happened to the rest of my body? For some of us, getting the thigh parallel to the floor pulls everything else out of a good, stable alignment. And so then we come into this concept called right effort, or doing a pose in a way that's appropriate for your body and your ability today. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, and not what you see on one of these pictures up here, right? But for your body today. And so then it became a long search in how to really judge what's the right pose for you, where should it be? And that search really came to a head when I went to actually a Pilates workshop with a woman named Karin Lelker, who taught me all about fascia. Now, I knew what fascia was before I went there, of course. Fascia is this stuffing through your body, right? Without fascia, you'd just be a bag of skin and bones, right? It fills everything in. Now, granted, there are muscles there, but fascia really gives the body its shape and form. Fascia also is a communication tool, right? So this is a Tensegrity model, right? Gives you a sort of an idea about what fascia works. So if I pull on this in, the rest of the model responds, right? If I pull a different way, the model responds a different way. So through this tension, when I pull one end, it communicates to other ends where to go. And your muscles communicate with each other through the same kind of system. So if this is my right bicep, and this is my left bicep, and this is the tissue in between, this starts to pull, it pulls the tissue in between. Maybe the left bicep has to do something, maybe not, right? My right arm and my left arm, if my right arm starts to pull, this kicks in and this gets pulled. And then if I pull with my left, it pulls along. Now maybe this is just passively being dragged, but maybe there are muscles in here that once they feel the drag, kick in and help, right? Once they feel the drag, kick in and help. Now I'm not saying, okay, core, I need you to help my arms. The core feels the drag of the arms, kicks in and helps, right? The real important thing about this Tensegrity model is that it needs tensegrity. And in our body, we sort of call that maybe stretch or tension. Tension is not a bad word, right? There is tension between these 2 points, not the same thing as stress. So say my arms are a little bit floppy, and I pull, this doesn't get any pull until I get stretch and length through the arm, and then it gets pull, right? This doesn't get any pull until I get stretch and length through the arm, and then it gets pull. Tensegrity is this tension in the body. And so let's go back to our warrior pose. And I'm going to turn to the back so you can see this back leg. If I get my thigh parallel to the floor, my thigh's parallel to the floor, is my thigh parallel to the floor? Maybe you need a sideways view, right? My thigh's parallel to the floor. Where's this back leg? Does it have any tensegrity? My body doesn't even want to stay there. So then how do I get a pose with tensegrity? I'm going to really work down this back leg through the heel into the floor, right? So then I have stretch through the system back there. And then this front leg is going to bend. And as it bends, it stretches away from the back leg. The back leg barely moves, right? Maybe when I work in this tensegrity, the thigh doesn't get parallel to the floor, at least not today. Maybe as I open through my hips and I work, one day the thigh gets parallel to the floor. But for now, this pose does not feel like you can knock me over with a feather, right? This pose feels strong and stable. If, when I pick my arms up, I stretch off the torso, create more tensegrity, I'm even stronger, right? I'm even stronger, working up through the fingers, working out through the knee, and back through the back leg. But if I let anything go soft, then I get baggy. I lose tensegrity, right? So when you're working through your poses, you want to feel the reach and the stretch going in all directions, right? Nothing's baggy, nothing's just hanging out. And if you can feel the reach and the stretch going in all directions and your thigh gets parallel to the floor, then you've reached eventually. But if you're imperfect, like the rest of us, maybe not. I'm just going to come down and I'm going to rest in my counter pose. Because even perfect yogis need to counter pose. And come back up. And I'm going to step together.